Hello, E-Town. Welcome to our next YouTube info session on the ETHS career pathways. This month's topic is the career pathways in engineering, manufacturing, and trades. And we have some wonderful business partners we'd love to share with you and their opportunities for our E-Town students. We will be featuring S&C Electric, Power Construction, Ward Manufacturing, and Oakton Community College. Soon you will hear from Ms. Tana Francelno, our ETHS Career Partnership Coordinator and Work-Based Learning Coordinator. She will be the main host for each of our guest speakers from our 4 business partners. So thank you for being here, and let's begin.
Good afternoon, E-Town. This is Ms. Tana Francelno. I am the Career Partner and Work-Based Learning Coordinator, and we are here for our next info session with our manufacturing, engineering, and trade business partners. Today, we have Ms. Terry McArath, who's with us from S&C Electric, and she's going to take us through all the awesome opportunities S&C has to offer ETHS students.
Great. No, thank you, Tana. So I'm Terry McArath. I'm the Talent Outreach Manager with S&C Electric. We are so happy to be here today. So I'm going to pull up our presentation so we can walk you through some information about the company and leave some information if you have some questions for us. So we're S&C Electric. We're so happy to be here with you today. So you might wonder, what is S&C Electric? We actually manufacture technology that powers the grid. So we're in the electrical engineering business. We're not a utility company, but we support the utility companies. So if you can imagine what's going on with the hurricanes right now, it's our technology that's helping get the lights back on. It's our technology that's helping the utility companies troubleshoot what the issue is. So with that said, I'm going to dive in a little bit more detail and talk about you and your career and how you can join such an incredible organization that is S&C Electric. With that said, let's get started. And again, welcome. We are so happy that you're joining us today. So as I mentioned a moment ago, S&C Electric, we keep the lights on. So I think it's incredible what we do. We work primarily with utility companies, as I mentioned a moment ago. We have a global presence, so a lot of people don't know this about us, and I'll share more about that in a moment. Our customers include, again, utility companies, commercial industrial markets, private equity firms. And if you can imagine what keep the lights on means for S&C, right? It means for you, the consumer, we help keep the lights on for hospitals, data centers, military bases. So imagine when the power goes out in a hospital, for example. And we employ a lot of creative minds like engineers that help keep us ahead and provides us with the competitive advantage that we need. So you can imagine the impact of power outages, like what's going on in Florida right now with the hurricanes, and how many millions of dollars that's costing the utility companies to send trucks out and troubleshoot what the issue is. So let's take a quick look at the impact of outages.
You probably don't give your electricity much thought until the power goes out. Power outages that last more than 5 to 10 minutes cost electric customers real money, more than $26 billion each year. Imagine yourself at home, working on an important project when the power goes out. Your TV, Wi-Fi, electronics, and desktop computer no longer work, and the batteries in your portable devices can't be charged. After a few hours, the food in your fridge starts to spoil, and living without hot water, air conditioning, and heat makes life uncomfortable. A small business faces more costly issues. The cash registers don't work, so no product can be sold. Workers are being paid to do nothing or need to be sent home. Think of the impact of an outage for low-margin businesses like a gas station or grocery store that rely on a high volume of customers. Just a few hours without power can cause massive losses to both product and revenue. Large commercial and industrial businesses bear the highest cost of sustained outages. Production lines grind to a halt. The resulting loss of material, machinery, and production time costs tens of thousands of dollars to fix or replace. An outage at a data center can result in the loss of millions of records. Imagine being at a hospital or police station when the lights go out. Utilities have to pay for outages too, from expensive truck rolls to contending with unhappy customers and regulators. Luckily, the innovations at S&C reduce most power outages to a simple flicker of the lights, or eliminate them altogether. Our innovations help keep your lights on. Visit snc.com/outages for more information on how S&C is making your power grid more reliable and resilient.
All right. So taking a look at our locations, I mentioned a moment ago that we are global. So we have our headquarters here in Chicago. This is what we call campus in Chicago. We have 46 acres in Chicago. We have about 2,000 employees, and we have both production and corporate staff here in Chicago, and our executive team also sits here. We also have a presence in California, Texas, Wisconsin. We have a manufacturing facility there. We actually just expanded. We added a $250 million facility to expand on operations in Franklin. Maryland, Arizona, West Palm Beach, we have a manufacturing presence. Internationally, Mexico, Brazil, the UK, Australia, China, and Canada. So we're continuing to transform the grid. So that's why we need creative minds like yours. So we provide innovative, sustainable solutions. We are a leader in grid automation. We have numerous patents. We have about 300 active patents right now, and we're continuing to transform the grid through our switching controls and protections. So we are 100 years old. We were founded by two entrepreneurs that worked at ComEd, and they actually left ComEd to launch S&C. They created what we call the first liquid power fuse. So with that said, let's just take a look at what some employees are saying about S&C and a quick snapshot of the first 100 years at S&C.
The power industry is changing.
This industry is booming with technologies such as renewables, microgrids, and automation.
S&C is re-engineering the grid.
S&C's been around for over 100 years, and it's all founded on innovation.
S&C makes sure that every time we flick that light switch, the lights go on, no matter what circumstance.
Devices can talk to each other and figure out the current state of the grid.
So when a big storm rolls in and a tree limb comes down, and that would normally be a 3 or 4 hour power outage, using S&C's products and services, you're talking about the lights flickering, and that's it.
So we're a team that is constantly trying to improve, come up with the next thing for our customers, and work hard to give them whatever they need.
A lot of companies, they just want to develop something that they think that the customer wants, but we actually go and listen to customers in person and to refine design based on their input.
The one thing that's kept me here at S&C is really the people.
I look forward to coming to work every day.
When I started, I didn't know anything about our products. I started asking questions, and I was surprised at how helpful everybody was. And they're still helping me because I don't know everything yet.
There's passion and integrity that you just don't find at other places.
It's a very friendly atmosphere, so everyone knows each other, and it's always very inclusive.
You feel a sense of belonging when you join, after you join S&C.
Other companies that I've worked at are quick to move jobs overseas or move them to other companies, whereas S&C is committed to keeping them here.
I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I know that if I do make a mistake, we're going to be able to learn from it. And from that learning, we're going to come up with some solution that's better than what we had before.
Working with customers, seeing our products in use, and hearing success stories has always been very rewarding for me. It's big enough that it gives me opportunities to travel abroad or even work overseas if I wanted to, but it's small enough that I know who to go and talk to on the manufacturing line when I have a question on a product.
I definitely think S&C encourages you to move around and learn new things, and then it's on you as an individual to reach out and work towards it.
So I was 17 when I started at S&C. I started at entry level in assembly. I saw that there were a lot of opportunities here. Practical classes, blueprint reading, math, advanced versions of these classes. I teach some of these classes now. Working with CAD software and 3D models, things I'd never even heard of before I started here at S&C.
We're not complacent. When we hire a new team member, we don't just expect them to learn the current process. We expect them to add to it with new skills, new tools, and new ideas.
Working in an employee-owned company, we don't answer to shareholders. We answer to ourselves because we are the shareholders. And I take pride knowing that everything I do impacts our stock price. So the better I perform as an owner, the more I get back. So we're continually investing in ourselves, and we're going to be a stronger company for it.
So taking a look at our pillars. So our pillars are growth, impact, and ownership. So growth is the main reason why people come work for us. So there are a variety of options for you. As mentioned in the video, I like how they mentioned that it's up to you to take charge of your career. So we always say your career is your choice. The impact. So knowing that we deliver solutions that help keeps the power on around the world. And I think that helps us with our sense of ownership mentality. So we know that the better we do, the better the company does, then the better we will also perform as far as our revenue. So why work at S&C Electric? Again, we're 100% team member owned, as mentioned in the video. So as an employee at S&C, you would own stock within the company. 100 plus years in business. I think it's actually 111 years at this point. So we do have a great culture, great stability. We have over 700 employees that have reached the 25-year mark. Unique benefits. One of the things I like about working at S&C is that we shut down the last month of the year so that we can take time off to celebrate with our families, and we're paid for that. And there's other days throughout the year that we take off as well. So we have what's called S&C days. I think that's unique to any other companies. 100% tuition reimbursement. So as you're on your journey right now in school, and if you decide to continue on to college, we would pay for you to continue your education. And of course, growth, as we mentioned a moment ago. So again, your career is your choice. We are very diverse and we value diversity and inclusion at S&C. So we have a variety of groups that help you deepen your relationships, build friendships at S&C. One of those groups is IDEA. So they support cultural awareness. They celebrate Black History Month, for example, Hispanic Heritage Month. We have the Women's Empowerment Group that provides networking and educational opportunities for women and men. We have S&C Gives that does a lot of work within the community. We have Toastmasters, which can actually help you build your public speaking skills. We have Spectrum, which is a LGBTQIA+ advocacy group here at S&C, and they do a lot of cool things to celebrate that community as well. So taking a look at the career framework. So your career depends on you, which is the center of this diagram. So your performance, right? And then we provide onboarding opportunities, development opportunities, the opportunity to be recognized, get engaged, within the community, recognize you again for your level of engagement. And then we offer rewards, of course, like the benefits, as well as the employee stock program. So again, your career is your choice. So taking a look at some opportunities. So we do have internship opportunities that we offer. We bring in summer students. We also bring in summer interns, We also provide apprenticeship opportunities as well in some areas of the business. We offer mentorship programs and the opportunity, of course, for advancement. So taking a look at positions available. So we always have internship opportunities, co-op opportunities. Again, summer is where we have most students come in during the summer, but throughout the year, if you are in a program where you need to serve in like an apprenticeship at any other time of the year, just let us know and we can talk to the respective departments to see if we can make that happen. But I mentioned that we have headquarters here in Chicago. So that's where we do have HR, marketing, IT, accounting, finance roles. Of course, we have a manufacturing facility here in Chicago. So we always are looking for assemblers, machine operators, tool room, material handlers, HVAC technicians, etc. We also have a field service team that is out and about right now in the community as we speak, responding to some of those hurricanes that are occurring right now on the East Coast. So they help troubleshoot the devices at the sites. There are remote tech team. We have those opportunities, and we have other technical and engineering opportunities available as well. So what is it like working at S&C? I like how someone mentioned in the video that you show up and there's something exciting to do every day. So they provide the opportunity for you to be an entrepreneur. I like that about S&C. So if you come with your ideas and you come with some thoughts on how we should better perform or maybe improve a process, your ideas are heard, they're valued. So I like that about S&C. I also like that it's a very friendly, collaborative environment. You can go to anyone and ask a question at any time. And that makes for a good place to work. There's some other things that I like about working at S&C, but those are some that are top of mind. So again, as far as your learning and growing, we have peer-to-peer support, cross-departmental training, shadowing, collaboration, so different projects you can work on. E-learning opportunities, we have a wealth of courses that we offer at S&C, development courses that you can take when you have some downtime, and upskilling. We work with a variety of organizations in Chicago like JARC, Rebuilding Exchange, etc. So if you do need to upskill, if we can't provide the opportunity for you here on campus, we can connect you with those partners outside of campus. So again, thank you so much for joining and listening to our presentation today. Again, my name is Terry McArath. I'm the Talent Outreach Manager with S&C. If you have any questions, please reach out to your program advisor there at the school, or you can email me directly with any questions at any time. You can also apply directly to opportunities via our career site, www.snc.com. And again, thank you so much and good luck on your career journey. Thank you.
Hey, Town, welcome back. Ms. Francelno's here again with another speaker for our manufacturing, engineering, and trades pathway. We have with us today Sean Gloaz from Power Construction. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So my name is Sean Gloaz, again with Power Construction. I am Power's Director of Community Development. So wear a number of different hats for Power. But the one that's most applicable to you all today is I go around to area high schools and try to promote career paths in the construction industry. So going to go through a little bit about Power Construction, who we are, and then go through some career paths in the construction industry, and some that are directly tied to Power and some that might not be. So let's get into it. So Power Construction is a construction management company. We are the largest general contractor construction management company that operates solely within the Chicagoland area. We are Midwest focused, but really Chicagoland focused. Have projects as far north as Lake County, south as Will County right now, and as far west as DeKalb. Majority of our work is within Cook County and oftentimes in the city of Chicago proper. 90% of our clients are repeat clients. Our relationships with our clients is everything. So we try to go above and beyond on the initial project so that we can get more work down the line, and that has served us well. That kind of feeds into zero litigation. Might not mean a lot to you right now, but in the construction industry, it's not uncommon to solve problems through the court system, and Power has never had to do that before. And that goes back to the relationships that we have with our clients, relationships that we have with our community partners, relationships we have with our subcontractors. That is the bedrock of our success. So we try to not use the court system if we don't have to, and we haven't had to do it today. $1 billion of annual revenue. This figure is actually a little outdated. We're closer to 1.25 right now. And that's been the case for the last 5+ years, a little bit longer than that. Majority of our employees are under the age of 35. That 50% is probably a little bit higher. We've been hiring an awful lot in the last year. majority of those folks are straight out of college. So increasingly, we are a younger and younger company. Founded in 1926, so we're coming up on our 100th anniversary. Look a lot different today than we did nearly 100 years ago. And let's get into some of the projects that we have worked on as a company. So first one I'm going to highlight is One Chicago Square. So this is the tallest project Power has ever built. It is the 6th tallest project building in Chicago. This was completed early last year, early in 2021. It is a podium with 2 towers. The tallest of the 2 towers, again, is the 6th tallest structure in Chicago. It is visible from the lakefront, so it is part of the city's skyline now. The one interesting, there are many interesting facts about this one, but the one I'll highlight here is this was one of the first projects in Chicago that used a top-down construction technique. So as we were digging out the 4 subfloors for this building, we were also building up. And the reason we did that was to A, save a little bit of money on the project, and B, to really speed up the construction schedule. Since we were building up while we were building down, we were able to shave off nearly 6 months off the construction schedule. And ultimately, that's what got us this project. And this was the first major project that we did with this developer. And because we completed this on time, within budget, and a quality product, we are now doing a number of other projects with this client. So again, going back to the relationships that really are the foundation of our success, this is a perfect example. Never worked with this client before. They took a gamble on us, it paid off, and now we're going to get some more work going forward. Burberry store. So this is one of the marquee stores on the Magnificent Mile. The one thing that pops out to most people is the skin of the building. So you see this hatch mark skin on the building, very shiny. This was custom made, shipped over. It had to be made to spec so that it can maintain that gloss year round, maintain that shininess, doesn't get weathered away by the elements. I mean, again, this is in Chicago, it's on Magnificent Mile. It's got to go through very cold temperatures, lots of rain, lots of snow. And so this building was built to withstand those elements. The Apple Store, this is one that a lot of people associate with Power pretty quickly. This is one of the smaller projects we've done, but one of the most expensive because all of these materials are custom made. The glass, the roof, those support beams inside, all of this was custom made to ultimately deliver, the vision that Apple had for the store. If we step a little bit further back away from this, if you can see what is in front of this, it is actually the Chicago River. So this store is on the Chicago River. And again, going back to the weather elements in Chicago, it has to withstand a lot of wind, very cold temperatures. Sometimes those waves are rocking. So be able to withstand the water. Just to be able to build this project, because of where it's located, it was very hard to get materials to the site. So we actually had to ship some of them down on a barge on the Chicago River to be able to get the materials to site. And in fact, we had one barge that had a crane on it that was taking those materials and placing them into place on the site itself. So very tricky project, very expensive project, but a project that has been able to stand the test of time so far and has been a very visible, very marquee project for Apple. Getting into our next project, so Rush University Medical Center, the Butterfly Building, as some people know it as, visible right off of 290, the Eisenhower. This was our first major project for Rush. We have now since done, we're in the process of completing a project across the street from here on Ashland Avenue that is an outpatient ambulatory building. And we just broke ground on a new project for Rush, Rush Select, that will be an outpatient building as well. So again, circling back to how important those relationships really are. Some of the work that we're doing out at O'Hare. This is part of the large O'Hare 21 program that's going to modernize the entire airport. This is a multi-billion-dollar program. So in total, I believe last count, there's going to be nearly $8.5 billion spent to modernize O'Hare Airport. This was the first major building to come up out of the ground. So Power is part of a joint venture out here. It's Power Construction, Austin Commercial, and Ujamaa Construction. We are in the back half of this project now. So this project in total will cost nearly $900 million. We already have the roof structure up, the glass is up, and so now we are just finishing the interiors of the building. Majority complete at this point. We will wrap up and leave the site sometime next year. But this has been an awesome opportunity for Power, awesome opportunity to be able to build at O'Hare Airport, and hoping to be part of that program as they go forward and do some more elements that will wrap up in the next decade or so. And the last project they'll show you is the last major high school that we built. So this is in the Inglewood community of Chicago, Inglewood STEM. This was a very quick building project. We started construction at the conclusion of one school year, and we had to be complete by the beginning of the school year after. So about 12 months total, $75 million. How quick this project had to go was the trickiest thing about this one. But ultimately, the community has a beautiful new high school that they can send their children to. So that's a little bit about what we do or what we have done. We get asked the question often, how do you know construction is right for you? And so these are some of the questions that we ask. I'm not going to go point by point, but oftentimes, if you were very interested in Legos as a child, then you might be interested in construction management or something related to it. If you like to solve problems, if you don't like to be in the same place all the time, if you don't want to sit behind a desk all day, certainly we do a lot of work on the computer, but then we are also sharing that time behind the desk with time out in the field. So we're going out, seeing the building as it's going up, being able to view the details, being able to talk to folks face to face. We are constantly coordinating the construction of that building from start to finish. So the way that we usually get brought in is a developer has a plot of land and some money to build a building. They hire an architect to design the building. The architect, in turn, hands over their design to a structural engineer that then starts to put the engineering drawings together for the building. Once that gets far enough along, then they bring in a company like Power, a construction management company. So we have to figure out how to take those drawings and make them reality. How are we actually going to build the building? How much is it going to cost? What is the schedule? How long is this going to take? We are coordinating, getting the permits to be able to build. We are hiring subcontractors that will come on and build the different components of the building. We will bring in an electrician to handle the electrical system. We'll bring in a mechanical contractor to handle the heating, ventilation, air conditioning. We'll bring in the glass and glazing contractor to put on the windows for the building. Carpentry contractor has to frame it all up. There's a lot of different moving pieces. So we are the ones managing all of those different parts and pieces that are going into the building. We also self-perform a little bit of work. So we self-perform a little bit of carpentry work. We have laborers that work for us. We do some of our own concrete work. So we do have tradespeople that work for Power directly. So we're not just managing the building from start to finish, we are also helping to build some of that as well. So what kind of careers are associated with construction? I went through some of those already, but starts with a developer. You need somebody with land and money and a desire to build something. Once they get to the table, again, you have the architect. You have the engineering team, that includes civil or structural, geotechnical, really depends on the specifics of that building. Then you have a construction management company like Power, and then you need folks that can actually build the building. So that includes the subcontractors and the people that work for them. In our world, those include union, craft, and skilled trades. So carpenters, laborers, sheet metal workers, pipe fitters, you name it. Anything that goes into the building is built by someone that belongs to a construction trade union. So looking at roles in construction that are more applicable to a company like Power, it starts with our core operations roles. So an entry-level position for Power on the operations side is typically our project engineers. These are the folks that are helping to put together the schedule for construction of the building. They're helping to bid it out, they're pricing it, they're doing all of the coordination that's needed on a micro level to get that building built. Our project engineers typically go to a four-year college. They major in something related to construction management or civil engineer. Sometimes architectural engineering, sometimes we have architects that want to switch career paths and get into construction management. So there's a couple different paths to get there. But the average starting salary, and this is not for Power, this is industry wide, is about $72,000 a year for a position like that. So you start as a project engineer, you put in your time. As you move up, you decide, do you want to go on the project management track or do you want to go on the superintendent track? And then you will progress from there. Superintendents spend more time in the field. You're actually talking to the people that are building. You're helping to coordinate who is going to be on site that day, make sure that the work that needs to get done for the day is getting done, and you're reporting that information back to the project team. Project managers spend more time in the office, looking at the budget, looking at the money, making sure that we're staying within budget and that we are letting the developer know what progress is being made on site. Then we get into operation support roles. So we need a lot of people to help us do what we do. So we have people that their full-time job is just estimating new projects. They're trying to put a price to different projects that we're pursuing. We have our virtual design and construction team. They are helping to do the virtual models of buildings. They are flying drones. They are scanning buildings. They are making sure we have the technology to do what we have to do. We have our safety team, making sure that everything is built safely. Our folks that come there that day are leaving at home with all their fingers and toes and can go back to their families. Our quality team that is making sure that what is being built in a quality fashion, that we only have to build it once and we're not going to have to circle back around and fix mistakes. And community development team, that's the role that I'm in for Power. So making sure that we are partnering with the community, involving individuals and businesses that reside in that community in the projects that we're building. And as a large company, we need a lot of things that most large companies need. So we have folks that work in human resources, accounting, insurance, you name it, anything a big major company would need, we need it as well. So even if you're not interested in traditional construction path, we still need folks that operate in all those other support roles as well. And finally, again, we have trade and craft workers that work for us. So we are a union signatory company. So we're a signatory to the carpenters, laborers, the operators, and tapers. So any company that works for us also has to be union signatory. So to get into a union, you're taking a apprenticeship exam. Once you get into the union, you start out as a first-year apprentice. The apprenticeships can run anywhere from 2 years to 5 years, depending on what the union is. After you graduate out of your apprenticeship, then you are a journey person, and you are at that journey person level for the remainder of your career. Union benefits are unmatched almost anywhere. Very competitive healthcare. You have a pension. You're getting training from the union so that you are aware of best practices for your, the skill that you are responsible for. Those benefits are unmatched anywhere. It's a huge benefit to being in the union is those benefits that come along with it. Just an example of what the pay is. A first-year apprentice that's a carpenter, you start at just under $21 an hour. That rate will increase as you go through a 4-year apprenticeship. So every 6 months, you will get a raise. After the completion of 4-year apprenticeship, you will top out right now at $52 an hour. And then at that point going forward, your wage increases are negotiated with the union, typically cost of living wages as you move forward. So these are very competitive rates. A lot of our journey person laborers and carpenters that work for us full time, doing at least a 40-hour week, are making well over $100,000 a year. So these are very viable career paths for folks that college might not be for them. There's also non-union career paths. Non-union doesn't have a strong negotiated union wage rate. So wages depend on the company you're working for. They can go anywhere from minimum wage and up, and the benefits they offer depends on the company that you're working for. So wanted to highlight just two more things. One is, what are some of our other entry-level positions? One is our project engineer internship. So these internships start from folks that just graduated high school. So your seniors that are going into the summer before you start college or whatever you're going to do in your post-high school career. The hourly pay for those positions is $17 to $21 an hour. You're working full-time, so about 40 hours a week. And we place you on a job site. So you're really getting to see, what does a project engineer role look like? You're supporting that project team for the duration of the summer. So you get to see everything that goes into building that building while you spend your internship with us. Another entry-level position is the assistant project engineer. So this is typically for folks that have a 2-year degree in construction management or something related, or have some college coursework in engineering or construction, but don't have their bachelor's degree. So we do have a path to get into power, even if you don't have that bachelor's degree. So what you would be doing is, you're working on a project team similar to an intern, except that you're doing that as a full-time career with power. So as you get to learn by doing, and while you're doing that, we are helping to pay for some of your schooling to complete that bachelor's degree. So you're getting that mixture of schooling and on-the-job training needed to get you up to par to be able to eventually go into that project engineer role. Starting salary for that position varies, but anywhere from $45,000 to $55,000, depending on the experience you have. And the last thing I'll highlight is Power has a high school scholarship for folks that are looking to pursue a 4-year degree in construction management or something similar. The awarded dollar value of those scholarships is anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. And that is a renewable amount up to 4 years. So as long as you're maintaining your grades, you're staying in a program that's related to construction management, we will continue to give you that award on a yearly basis up to 4 years. The base requirements for this is, you have to be a high school senior, you have to reside in the Chicagoland area, you have to be self-identify as minority and or female, and you have to be pursuing a degree in construction management or something related. And that's it. We had 40 applicants last year, of which we awarded 4 scholarships. 2 of those individuals came from Evanston Township High School. So Evanston Township was a great source of scholarship applicants last year. So I encourage you to please apply again. When we have our updated scholarship information, we will share with your counselors and make sure we get that information out to you. So in the recorded setting, I'm not going to be able to take any questions for you. But if you have any questions about power or the construction management field or construction in general, I encourage you to reach out to your counselor, let them know that you have some questions, and I'm happy to circle back around and get you any answers that you need. So with that, I will conclude, and hope that we get some of you to apply for a high school scholarship, and hope that some of you we see applying for power jobs in the future. Thank you for having me.
Hey, E-Town, welcome. We are with our next presenter for our Manufacturing, Engineering, and Trades Career Pathway panel. Today we have with us Nick Ward and Quinn Joyce from Ward Manufacturing, and they're going to tell us all about the opportunities at Ward right here in Evanston. Take it away, Nick.
So how's it going, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. We appreciate you guys coming on and giving us an opportunity to talk to everybody about different career opportunities that exist, outside of college. So we're a local manufacturer and local company here and off of 2230 Main Street over by the Sam's Club and Food for Less. Been here for, close to 20 years. And we supply all sorts of different metal stampings that go across the board in all sorts of different industries. But one of the kind of the most exciting things being in the community of Evanston is we hire a lot of people from this town. And that includes people in high school, outside of high school. And so it's very, very important to us that we be able to sit down and talk with you guys about what we do and what types of careers that we have the opportunity of providing to you and whomever else is interested in finding careers in manufacturing. All right, so I'll go through. And so again, welcome everybody. This is just kind of the brief presentation that we can kind of go through. So there's a little bit more of a visual aspect to it. You're not just seeing just me. Who you saw also on the screen with me, which I'll introduce a little bit deeper, but just so you know, this is Quinn Joyce. He is actually an Evanston High School graduate, graduated back in 2012, 2013, and has now since then went off, got a college degree, and came back and started working for us about, 3.5 years ago? Yeah. He's in our tool room, working kind of more so in the engineering side of things. But what his particular position is going in through working on the tools that we make in order to produce the parts that all of our customers wind up buying. And I'll show you a few of those here moving forward in this presentation. So brief history, I kind of ran you through just a little bit in my introduction. But again, we are here in Evanston at 2230 Main Street. We've been around for actually, since 1944. So it's getting close to 80 years that our company has been involved in the Chicagoland area. So we started in Chicago proper and then have moved up to Evanston over the last 25, 30 years. And now we reside where we are at now. We are a manufacturing preferred supplier for the automotive, electrical, transportation, aerospace, appliances, plumbing, heavy machinery, and all sorts of additional industries that our parts go into, things that you see on a day-to-day basis. So what we do specifically, these parts that you see on the right, they're called metal stampings. And all of our parts, nothing that you see will be something that you would find on a shelf at Home Depot or any sort of automotive part store. Everything that we do goes to a customer who has engineered and designed these parts to go into a very, very unique assembly. So everything that you see over there goes into motorcycles, goes into semi-trucks, goes into construction applications like buildings and other different building structures. We do heavy machinery, so bulldozers, excavators, all sorts of stuff along those lines. We've got little parts that go into each one of those. Plumbing, when you go to a bathroom, you see a lot of our parts on the actual plumbing fixtures that are in front of you. So you kind of name it. There isn't really many industries that we do not supply. Things that, again, that you won't see typically from your eye, but knowing that every single one of those parts in your car, in the trucks, in the heavy machinery, if our parts are not in there, those do not function and do not work. So it's very, very important that what we do, the parts are very, very good. The parts go to our customers exactly how they're supposed to, or else the actual assemblies themselves don't function. So all of these different parts that you see here, you can thank, Quinn, you can thank the rest of Ward Manufacturing for making sure that your car operates to get you to school, or, your parts that operate the car to make sure that your dad can get to work, mom to get to work, and also different situations where here in Evanston, we're the ones that are kind of the backbone of that, which is really, really exciting and also very, very important. So our connection with the Evanston High School, we've been lucky to be involved with not only with Tana, but all sorts of different other Evanston high school representatives to get us connected with students and other people in the community to not only allow us to continue to run here in Evanston, but also produce very, very good employment for people that is very consistent. So right now, I believe it's actually 5 Ward Manufacturing employees that are Evanston High School graduates. 2 of them are a little bit more recent than others, but we've had one for close to 6 years now. And he's still only 23, 24 years old. And because of his attraction to what we do, because of his motivation, he's worked his way all the way up to becoming an assistant tool room manager already at the age of 23. So no college, just high school educated. He came to Ward Manufacturing during a manufacturing tour and presented an opportunity for a job shadow his junior year of high school finished off his senior year and came and started working for us right away. We sent him to all sorts of different additional schooling that Ward Manufacturing paid for in order for him to get better at his job, and create a career in the tool room, through an apprenticeship. And now he's done with that. It's a 3-year program, and he's here full time. And this is hopefully kind of something that we can stick him around because we really, really like him. Quinn, you've got next to me, he's kind of following in the same footprint, of coming to us, going to outside education to better his understanding of manufacturing and what we do. And he might go into a little bit more on the production side of things to help me manage the floor, and what happens outside of the tool room, but he's very much involved with that. And that's going to be really the basis of his understanding and education. So we hire quite a bit of people outside of Evanston, and we love the ability to do so. If anybody is in any of the manufacturing labs at Evanston High School with John Lawrence, all the material that you guys are running, that's actually stuff that we donate in order to hopefully push a little bit more of the manufacturing to students to make it a little bit more fun. And so we've been doing that for, I think, close to 5 years now, and we'll continue to do that every year that we have the ability to. We offer internships, job shadow opportunities like Tana, I know, has spoken to a lot of people about. Every summer, we try and bring at least 1 or 2 students in here to give them an opportunity to see what we do and see if it's a career that fits them, and they believe is something that they would like to be a part of. We're part of the Mayor's Employee Advisory Council. So just every so often throughout the year, we meet with the mayor and every other people, various employers that look at different opportunities to bring students like you into the trade world, and into describing all sorts of different opportunities of employment right outside of high school. And so, like I said, anything else with the connection of Evanston High School, we sign up and raise our hand as quickly as we possibly can if there's an opportunity for us to bring more attention to the career paths that exist outside of college. Some exciting news that is just kind of in the process. We were just finished purchasing a new building at the end of last year and are in the process of redeveloping it. It's over off of Greenleaf Street, a little bit north of where we actually reside off of Main Street. But totally new warehouse, new offices, new warehouse where we're actually going to be finishing a lot of our finished good parts that await our customers to purchase. But it's opening up new opportunities of employment where we're going to be needing to fill. So that's new management, that's new people on the floor, that's new forklift operators, that's new production operators. And so there's going to be quite a few opportunities come 2023 for us to look at hiring new people. And we would love to start looking at hiring those people directly from Evanston High School if anybody would be interested. So, working at Ward Manufacturing, outside of maybe me being a little bit biased, we believe to have a very, very, fun work and life balance. And so obviously anything that you do, doesn't matter if you go to college and work in an office, doesn't matter if you come and don't go to college and work in a facility, everyone expects you to work. It's a grind, as a lot of people say. And it's something to look forward to. It's something to be passionate about. But it's really important that, every single time that you go to work, you want to try and separate yourself from everybody else. And sometimes just working a little bit harder than others is just, this day and age, the easiest way to go about and do that. However, coming in and working and getting paid for an hourly rate, in most cases, the companies offer quite a bit more in benefit package. So this just kind of gives you a little bit of an understanding of what we do outside of just paying that hourly rate. We provide insurance, and that has the ability to do health insurance, dental insurance, life and vision insurance, which helps you pay for your doctor's appointments, your dentist appointments, your glasses, anything else associated to that. 401k, which is a retirement plan that every single time at the end of every week, if you decide to do this, you contribute X amount of money towards a savings account. And then we match 4% of that when you go in and actually put this money away for you in your retirement. It's not money that you can access until you're 65, but it gets invested and it's to the side of things. And hopefully one day, if you do it correctly and you start at a young age, that becomes your main income once you decide you want to retire. Holidays, we pay for all 7 holidays that we've got, and that's 4th of July, that's Memorial Day, that's Labor Day, Christmas, all of the big ones. And then PTO, we do have paid time off. You do have to work here for a little bit in order to qualify for that. But if you stick around for long enough, we've got quite a few employees that have earned up to 20 days of paid time off. And overtime wise, we work a lot of overtime. So it has the ability to take, let's just say if we start at $15 an hour, any hour after 40 hours that you work, you wind up getting paid an extra $7.50. Here are the opportunities, for the high school graduates, production machine operator. That's really kind of the base of everything that we do here. Super important job. And we hire a lot of them. And so I think we've got 40 or 50 different operators that work here at a day-to-day basis. And with this new production facility, we're looking at expanding that. So that's going to open up the opportunities for that. Production scheduling clerk, that becomes, a little bit more of an office position, printing out paperwork, organizing and working with the customer reps in order to schedule jobs for the operators and to set them in and on the floor to run. And that's something that a high schooler right outside of graduating has the ability to do as well. Quality inspector, every one of our parts that go out have a very specific dimension and all sorts of different characteristics of it that need to function and be dimensionally correct in order for our customer to use them. So we've got a quality team that sits there at the end of the press and throughout the run to qualify and make sure each one of these items are running to the standards that they're supposed to. Another very, very important job, and another job that a high schooler absolutely would have the ability to do with a little bit of training. Shipping, our forklift operator or packing jobs that we've got, they're typically making sure that when parts get received in to our warehouse, they're packing them in appropriate boxes and organizing them so that when the customer decides to purchase them, they're going to be the ones that are actually pulling it off the shelf, getting it ready and putting it into a truck to send to the customer. Tool room, I spoke a little bit about on this apprenticeship. This one is a little bit more trade heavy and bringing in, it's a little bit more specific to making sure that we find the right people since we do pay for the schooling. With the right fit has to be in place. But if you're interested, you're mechanical, you have, an idea that you want to potentially work in some sort of engineering side of things and maybe college, you don't want to go and pursue the college route of engineering. This is your opportunity to do so and do it in a way where schooling is free and you're working while you're doing it. So this one is really interesting, has a lot of opportunities throughout not only Ward Manufacturing, but throughout the world because there's not many tool room journeymen that exist anymore. So very, very secure job. But again, a lot of people are looking for the right person. So that one's important that if you're serious, that opportunity is there. Maintenance, kind of similar. A lot of people, instead of going in the route of working on cars, everything that we do here between the machines, between the bathrooms, between the lights that we put up require maintaining. And so anybody that has any sort of mechanical background, the maintenance technician is another opportunity that would require a little bit more training that we would supply, but a very, very important job as well. As of right now, the city of Chicago has a minimum wage starting at $15.40, which we honor. Any of these jobs here, that's typically starting on the production side of things, quality, shipping, tool room maintenance, that has a little bit more of a premium pay, but a little bit more difficult to get into because we've got a lot of people that are interested in it and something that, again, we want to make sure we're picking the right people. Starting pay is that, but we've got many careers here of people that are making quite a bit of money for 80% of our workforce not being college educated. And so it is a very, very lucrative option and very, much of a job security situation where you come work in the manufacturing world. There's a boatload of companies that are looking for workers. And if you show any sort of strive for enjoying this work and wanting to create a career out of it, there isn't really anywhere in the world that you can go that people wouldn't hire you for the background experience that you have. So that's a very, very, brief overview of Ward Manufacturing. What we love to do is bring high school students and other people in the community in as on tours. So our doors are always open. We hope that even if it's not organized through your school, come by, stop in, say hello, ask for Nick Ward, ask for Quinn Joyce, Tom Ward, anybody that's there would love to take you around and show you what we do, and see if this is an opportunity that you'd be interested in working. So again, thank you guys all for sitting in and listening to Ward Manufacturing's presentation and everybody else's in our manufacturing industry. We hope between us or one of the other groups and companies that came here, you find the interest in potentially starting working, because we all need you.
Hey, E-Town, we are back with our next presenter for the Manufacturing, Engineering, and Trades Pathway. We have with us our favorite local community partner, Oakton Community College. They will be here to talk to us about the opportunities and credentials you can earn in manufacturing and trade careers.
Great. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, ETHS community. We're happy to be here to share some information with you today. First, we're going to be talking about different programs at Oakton Community College focused on manufacturing, HVAC, different facilities, and other automotive career programs at the college. I am Mark Batista. I serve as the AVP of Workforce Education and also the Dean of Career Technologies. And also with me here is...
Hello, everybody. I am Bob Simpolsky. I'm the Dean of STEM, that's Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics at Oakton.
Okay, we're going to jump right in. So first, foremost, we're going to be talking about this area of interest, manufacturing, facilities, and automotive. A lot of our career programs fall under this area. Easily found at Oakton's website, oakton.edu, at academics here, and then area of interest, and then find this icon. So first, we are going to be talking about some of our manufacturing and CAD programming, and I will turn it to Dean Simpolsky.
Thank you, Mark. So we renamed this program from Manufacturing Technologies to Computer Integrated Manufacturing. And the incentive to do that reflected an interest in identifying the role that computer-based technologies were playing within the industry. The industrial Internet of Things is increasing the move of all segments of the manufacturing process to rely more heavily upon data that's gathered on wireless Ethernet platforms to monitor manufacturing methods so that intelligent systems can respond more quickly to events within these processes. The program offers 3 associate degrees with pathways that build upon the smaller credentials on their way to the degrees. For the advanced manufacturing pathway, the student can earn CNC production and welding certificates as they advance. For the supply chain automation pathway, the student can earn production, welding, and automation certificates as they advance. And for the advanced mechatronics degree, the student can earn production, robotics, and vision and automation certificates as they advance. And we'll be talking about these in some of the slides that follow. Next slide, please, Mark. So to better reflect the Oakton strategic plan, the program is attempting to attract more returning adult students with a suite of shorter certificates. The production certificate provides fundamental knowledge and skills for entry-level production workers. Graduates of this program understand the manufacturing processes and technical skills required for production of goods. The CNC certificate introduces students to the use of G-code language that controls our computerized lathes and mills. The welding certificate explains welding terms, codes, and standards established by American Welding Society and practices various welding techniques. The automation certificate introduces students to the creation of state and ladder diagrams that control machine operation sequences. And the robotics and vision certificate introduces the controllers of robotics and machine vision logic that have become integral parts of industrial automation. Advance, please. So these 2 certificates, the production technician certificate and the welding certificate, both require the occupational safety course, which introduces the OSHA safety procedures in industrial environments. And they also require the industrial drafting and design course, where students analyze views and symbols from various technical drawings. The Introduction to Computer Integrated Manufacturing course describes common tools and materials used in manufacturing and is available to both pathways. Beyond that, production technology students should select Introduction to Machining, which defines basic terminology and principles of precision machining for CNC and manufacturing tracks, or students should select Introduction to Automation, which demonstrates the proper use of automated equipment for the automation and mechatronics tracks. Welding technology students take the Introduction to Welding course along with Advanced Welding, which are held on site at ETHS. Processes and Materials courses, which covers the modeling or machining of plastics, ceramics, and metals, can be used in place of the Advanced Welding. I'll note how the Introduction to Welding course, Manufacturing 120, is a very popular dual credit option in our district high schools. And so many students come to Oakton already with credit in that class. Next slide. The Computer Numeric Control Certificate includes both the industrial drafting and design and the Introduction to Machining courses that we had mentioned on the previous slide. These students go on to earn an industrial certification in CNC machine operations from NIMS. That course demonstrates the safe operation of our CNC turning and milling centers, and they complete their Oakton certificate with the Introduction to CNC Programming, where they create the basic G-code programs to run the lathes and the mills. The Automation Technology Certificate includes occupational safety and Introduction to Automation, but offers a survey of electronics as an option instead of the industrial drafting and design course. The certificate is completed with an introduction to principles and limitations of fluid power in the Fluid Power and Controls course, and concepts of electric motors and controls in the Motors and Controls course. The September Oakton Board of Trustees meeting saw the approval of the purchase of new trainers that teach students how to configure Allen Bradley microprocessors for our new Motors and Control course. Next slide. Earnings in these areas are significant. This information comes from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Industrial machinery mechanics and machinery maintenance workers earned over $59,000 last year. Overall employment of these careers is projected to grow 14% from 2021 to 2031, which is above average for all occupations. Nationally, this will lead to over 53,000 openings that are projected each year over the next decade. For those that choose the more electrical path, electrical and electronics installers and repairers earned over $61,000 last year. There are almost 10,000 national openings for these careers projected each year over the 2021-2031 decade. For further information, feel free to contact Boguslaw Zapal, who's the coordinator for our manufacturing, or Joe Cerrone, who is currently the chair. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to pick up and talk a little bit about HVAC programs at the college. Similar to the CIM area that Dean Zapolsky just discussed, there's a number of different credentials, including an Associate of Applied Science, as well as a number of stackable certificates that stack up into that degree. Generally, within this program, students are learning to evaluate the performance of air conditioning, refrigeration systems, to assess energy consumption, and apply principles and methods of energy conservation. And so within this program, we'll talk just real briefly about a couple of the certificates that are shorter in nature. One, our residential comfort system installer. It is approximately about 7 classes, includes some smaller certifications within, specifically that EPA Section 608 certification. But in short, is 25 credit hours. It includes, again, intro to HVAC systems, understanding how sheet metal is laid out, how you fabricate sheet metal to work within duct systems, naturally, and intro to electricity and automation controls. Again, talking about air-conditioned split systems, as well as advanced automation controls. Another short certificate within this program is stationary engineering exam prep. So again, this certificate is really geared toward students that are seeking to enter into stationary engineering, overseeing the facility, the operations of facility as related to HVAC systems and energy systems therein. So a couple of shorter certificates within this HVAC program at Oakton. Some of the employment opportunities, HVAC technicians and installers is projected to grow within the next 10 years. There are currently about 40,000 openings for these types of jobs. Entry level, obviously, then as well, medium income, for heating installers and mechanics is roughly around 48K in May of 2021. Again, all of this is, sourced from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And for more info, connect with Larry Pinar, who is the chair of that area. Also want to talk a little bit about our automotive program at Oakton. Similarly, we have a number of certificates and degrees within the automotive discipline at the college. This program is recognized by the Automotive Service Excellence, also known ASE, Education Foundation. It's really the program is really for students that are already either working in the field or want to get into the field of automotive. Again, and courses are offered throughout a variety of times throughout the day, from morning, afternoon to evening classes. So a little bit about some of the shorter certificates within this program. We have approximately 6 new certificates that we've kind of broken out and made shorter and more specialized. So you'll see we have an electrical system certificate that's comprised of approximately 3 classes, can be completed in 1 semester. Our automotive engines, again, focusing on the engine components and performance of automobiles. Again, also three courses, some overlap, as you can see, in terms of the intro class. Our automotive engine performance and specifically emission certificate, again, is 4 classes with, again, some more overlap. And then our heating and HVAC automotive certificate, our transmission and powertrain, as well as the undercar care certificate. All of these certificates have been designed so that they can be completed quickly and within 1 semester. And so in short, some of the employment opportunities, again, within our automotive technology area, mechanics and technicians is generally flat, but there's still a need through the next 10 years. About 73,000 openings for these types of jobs. And generally, employers prefer that automotive service technicians and mechanics complete some sort of post-secondary training at an institution, i.e. Oakton. And then often further industry certification happens on the job often. So for more info and in this respects for the automotive program, our chair, Mike Pete, can answer questions. His email is listed there. And then finally, if seeking to apply to Oakton, simply go to oakton.edu/apply and get started with your application if interested in any of these programs that we talked about today. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Bob, for coming and sharing these awesome opportunities for ETHS students to get connected quickly, to earn a credential or certification, to be employable. It's really important that we share those kinds of opportunities for our students, and they can continue to grow their post-high school plan beyond that. Thanks so much for being here. We're so grateful for your partnership.
Well, that is all that we have for you this evening. We want to thank all of our business partners for being with us today. We would like to thank S&C Electric, Power Construction, Ward Manufacturing, and Oakton Community College. We hope that you will join us at future Career Pathway info sessions here on YouTube. Thank you and go Kick!